This is Officer Dan back with another GKTECH how-to. This time we'll be tackling the GKTECH rear traction arms. Super duper exciting, I know. Hold the applause, please. Thou shalt receiveth a box such as thus, and shimmying it like Zach will take years of practice. Here's what you get inside, starting with the dust boots, which are optional covers for the PTFE line bearings. Use them if you want, or not, up to you. Next up is the assembled traction arm itself, which, like our other arms, is made from 4130 chromoly and comes stock with 28mm outer diameter with a 3mm sidewall action. Strong AF, dudes. Now these here arms let you change the position and pitch of the rear knuckle, which the suspension rotates on, along with the amount of anti-squat you get or don't in the rear. So let's whisk the old one out, shall we? Now start off by removing the inside nut only, leave that bolt in there. Then move on to the outside. This time you're going to remove the nut and bolt. Now, lift the arm off the knuckle as it may be a tight fit, then head back inside and remove that bolt. Finally, remove the entire old crappy OEM arm. Now that you've removed a bit of hot garbage from the car, let's talk adjustments. What is the MagSafe adjustment, I just heard somebody ask? Well, it's going to come in at 240mm bolt hole to bolt hole, which is made up of 76mm from the start of the insert to the start of the thread on the extender for the rose joint, and 28mm from the same point to where the locking nut bottoms out. We recommend starting here and winding inwards for MagSafe thread engagement. Speaking of winding her on in, the OEM length will be looking at 210mm from center of bolt hole to center of bolt hole, made up of 57mm from the start of the insert to the start of the thread on the extender for the rose joint, and 17mm from the extender measured the same way as before. Or you can always take the stock arm back out of the trash and line it up to match the holes side by side. The choice is yours, young Padawan. Finally, and on the flip side, measuring them slammed inward, you're going to get a length of 190mm bolt hole to bolt hole. And knowing these facts, GKTECH has provided you with 20mm of inward adjustment, meaning winding the arms towards the front of the car, making it shorter, or 30mm of outward adjustment, meaning winding it back towards the rear, making the arm longer. We've set ours to OEM to keep the alignment as close as possible to spec, so let's toss them in, shall we? Now, installation is a simple reverse of what we did before. Head inside and install the arm to the subframe, then toss the bolt through and the nut on. Now, slide the GKTECH arm on and install the nut and bolt, tighten those down, then torque to the spec shown right here on the screen. Now, head inside and torque those down to the specs shown as well. Now's the time to make damn well sure the bearings are straight, not cocked left or right. Once it's in the middle, grab your favorite wrenches and tighten down the locking nuts as shown. And that's it, my dude. You're done. You can find all that grip you've been missing by pitching that knuckle any way you want. These are two dudes, one has slightly more grip than the other, and neither of them ever changed their outro vids. That's okay, sometimes consistency is key, am I right? If you can't install these, please have a professional do it and or reach out to us with any questions here. This has been Officer Dan, Johnny Caps, and toe up from the flow up Zach with another GKTECH how-to. Peace.